The Epicurean Trader in San Francisco, they've got multiple stores. I happened to get to one of their stores recently. It's just a wonderful shopping experience. It's a grocery store, but it's much more than that. It's an experience in visual merchandising perfection, if you like. And I want to show you why I think that's the case. So, as you approach the store, this is what you see from the outside, small batch artisan goods. That's pretty impressive. It's interesting. If you go to their website, you'll see that their focus really is on bringing artisan goods to areas that wouldn't normally have access to them. They also do an awesome coffee, but you get inside of the shop, and it's presented like a gourmet grocery store, really well spaced out, quality goods, easy to shop. Lots of items to consider if you like cooking and you're looking for quality ingredients for cooking. But what's interesting is as you walk around the shop, you see decisions that they've made that are incredibly thought out and clever from a retail perspective. Here I'm heading towards the dairy cabinet over in the back here. You can see you've got a range of dairy items, cheeses and ice cream and things like that. Over here on this side, you've got artisan bread. But then between the two, what have you got? You've got some greeting cards. Now, these greeting cards are placed there clearly for a reason. Their view is that greeting cards can be purchased on impulse. And so you might be going to somebody's place for a dinner party, you're grabbing a breadstick to take, why not grab a birthday card or some other card to take with you? Or you might be grabbing something else from the refrigerator there, and you can grab a greeting card as well. Really clever placement, not a big deal, very tactical, very smart. I really like it a lot. The shop itself, as I said, is very shoppable and very appealing. You don't have the mass volumes that you might see in other supermarkets. You've got enough of a product there to draw you in and take whatever you want, 2 or 3, and make the purchase. And then you've got associated with that other items that shopper could possibly buy. So here you've got some liqueurs that might go with some of the fruits that you've got down the bottom there. Very well laid out. Now, I want you to look at this photo here. This is an aisle end across in their liquor department. On first glance, it doesn't look like anything necessarily special. But if you get a bit closer, you can see you've got a box, another box, a box offset in the other direction, and then another box offset. Really simply placed. And these literally are old boxes that they're placed on top of each other and secured. And then into the boxes, they're using them as shelves. So you've got this thing that looks, reasonably basic. But then when you look at it in more detail, they've bought boxes thoughtfully. They're nice and strong. They've secured them. They've positioned them there. And then they're displaying product through there. Really smart, really clever, even to the point where you've got the offset space, you've got this craft beer nut mix. So they're using that space as a shelf, as well as the box next to it as a shelf. May not seem like a big deal, but the reality is it creates for a shopping experience that's more engaging and more enticing and drawing you further into the shop. Because as a retailer, I'm thinking, what else are they doing in here that's interesting and exciting? They also have, as the sign on the front window said, small batch product. So they've got these small batch alcohol products, and they've also got these single shot or dram in a can drinks. So you've got 2 stacks. You've got the whiskey there. You've got rock and rye there. Really simple, very enticing, easy to purchase for people who are on the go. Across in the window, facing out on the street, as you go to exit the store, there's this display of olive oil, all sorts of related olive oils up here, a range of associated products. And then what have we got here? We've got some greeting cards next to the olive oil. You've got greeting cards next to the olive oil, like I said. Crazy, really crazy, but fantastic. Awesome. Great to see them do that. And then next to the greeting cards, you've got some birthday candles here. And then you've got some tags over here, happy birthday tags, because you might decide to give this premium bottle of olive oil as a gift to somebody. You've got a card to go with it. You've got birthday candles, and you've got a gift tag to go on the bottle itself of the olive oil. Really smart, really engaging. And again, they're showing us that, for example, when it comes to greeting cards, by all means, have them in a department somewhere in your store. But the reality is having them like this placed near items that people are going to be buying makes so much sense. To me, anyway, I think it's a really smart move. The shop itself is well laid out. In another section of the shop, I'm facing this table here, and I can see, there's some chocolate on there, which interests me greatly. You've got this really cool flower display up in the top right-hand corner. And the display itself is so enticing. They're displaying really premium quality chocolates, really laid out well, not masses, not incredibly deep numbers of stock items, but there's enough there for me to choose from. And again, they're using a flower display in the corner, a dried arrangement display, to really make it visually appealing and to draw me to it. And then they've got it on something that doesn't necessarily look like it's purpose-built. They've repurposed something else to fit into that space, which I think is terrific. Further into the shop, because the Barbie movie was still pretty current when I happened to see this shop, of course I had to go across and have a look at the Barbie display. It says, "Hi, Barbie." And all they've done is bring together all of the pink items, all of the items that have an element of pink in their packaging. So these are all liqueur-based items. You've got a few food items, some dried pineapple. You've got some chocolates there, some nougat. They're all presented really well. And it just looks fantastic. It's really, really enticing. So as I'm heading towards the liquor department, I see this. And of course, I stop and I think, well, what are all these items? And I'm drawn into it because of the color blocking, which is so smart. And then on the other side of this is you've got the kids' products. You've got some books, you've got some eating tools, some plates and things like that. You've got a range of items that are very kid-friendly. So they're really using the space well to tell the Barbie story on one side and the kids' story on the other side. I want to come back to the olive oil and the cards, though. To me, this represents retail perfection. They've got this display over here of compelling olive oil-related products. And then over on this side, they've got greeting cards that could be purchased by that same shopper who happens to be looking at olive oil. Really smart, really clever. I really like what they're doing. The Epicurean Trader is one of those shops that, if you're in San Francisco, they've got, I think, 3 or 4 shops in the area. They're one of those shops that's really well worth visiting because how they display items, the choices that they make in displaying items is really clever, very tactical. They're thinking, who's the shopper? When you're in each section of the shop, who's the shopper and what's that shopper likely to be interested in buying, or what could they buy when they happen to be buying or shopping this item over here? So you might be shopping for that item, and then they've got products associated with that to appeal to that shopper to try and maximize the value of the shopper being in the business for the business. And I think that's what we've got to do as retailers. We've got to make sure that we are maximizing the purchases customers make when they shop in our shops. At the Epicurean Trader, they do that really well. They've taken the grocery shop experience and made a lot of tactical decisions to maximize the opportunity. Now, I was traveling, so I didn't spend much in the shop. But if I was local, I could see myself spending good money in the shop because they make it enticing, they make it interesting, they make it appealing. And it's just a wonderful shop to get to. I was inspired primarily because of their color blocking with the Barbie display, and also because of the way they're using boxes on the aisle end and their tactical placement of greeting cards. Really smart, really easy, doesn't cost anything really to do. And, visiting the Epicurean Trader is another reminder. We don't need shop fitters. The best materials we can use in our shops to create our environment and the shopping experience are things that we find, things that we might pick up from an old farm or something like that we can repurpose and create our own stories through. I hope it's been interesting for you. Thank you.